Hi, hope you folks are doing good this evening. I'm sorry it's taken me a while to get back to this part of Never Quit. I think the last place that I left off was I was talking about my mom and justice and the system a little bit, and I wanted to try and point out what I was referring to in that last video and what it was, regarding my mom saying that we weren't too happy people was when she had came to see me in court, and I was trying to express to her that, once again, that things ain't the way they used to be. And the system wasn't what she thought it would be. I tried to convince her to, get me an attorney, because the luck I had was terrible. I mean, my first attorney that I had in this case was drunk. He was an alcoholic. He smelled of alcohol, his breath. And he had a paralegal that was his daughter. And he had his daughter come into the visiting area or into the jail and talk to me, and she swore up and down, to try and convince me to take a deal, try and plea bargain. And I wasn't going to plea bargain to something I didn't do. And so, that being said, all hopes of what my mom thought was just out the door, and I was only 24 years old. The alleged victim that alleged these things was 42 years old, and she had stated that I knew her husband, and that her husband's name was Melvin, and that was impossible, because I had never been to Clear Lake, California before in my life, and I was taking a friend to Clear Lake from Arizona to help him, because he was a school buddy, help him find his girlfriend and baby, who apparently up and left him. So that being said, it would have been very important for him to be there for that trial. And one day, hopefully this next year, I'm going to hunt him down in Arizona and do a video and see what exactly why. I think I saw him once when I got out, and I had no words for him. I was so disappointed that I was afraid that anger might have gotten away and it wouldn't have been good. And it's unfortunate, but I was told by my attorneys that they were going to subpoena him. Apparently, I don't know if they did or they didn't. He wasn't there, and that was important to give proof as to why we were up there in that particular area. It was like 1,000 miles from home. So, on the way up there, he told me, I asked him if he had a phone number. He said he didn't have a phone number. Little did I know, he didn't even have an address. And we spent hours. We went to the police station there. We walked all over town looking, and no luck. But after walking so many hours, I decided to take a drive, and that's when I ran into this individual who ruined my life. Whether or not she thought that the person that we ran into when I ran out of gas in my truck, I saw a guy standing at a barn, and I said, hey, maybe this guy can help us. We pulled into his driveway, walked up to him, and I said, hey, I just ran out of gas in my truck. Can you help us out? And that's when this woman may have thought that this guy knew her husband. I don't know what happened. All I know is she walked over to him, told him that a situation evolved that never happened. And we'll get into that another time. My focus today was to try and talk to you a little bit about ineffective assistance of counsel. And I'm going to attach some photos somewhere in this video. I can't find, for the life of me, I've found them 4 or 5 times. I wrote to the court and got my points and authorities, which points and authorities are grounds for a new trial. And I got some of them in the house. Like I said, I'll do a little video of them and then enclose them into this particular video. But what happened was during the trial, they never even asked this woman. She said that, she said that she had been drinking, and they never asked her that during the trial, which she, in the preliminary hearing in the papers, said that she had been drinking. She said, I had a .357 Magnum gun. There was no gun to be found. She said, I smoked marijuana out of a pipe. No pipe was to be found. The police reported that I did not smell of marijuana and I did not appear to be intoxicated, which I was not. When they stacked the charges, they stacked them in a way to scare me, to try and get me to plea bargain. And in doing so, they added the charge of attempted rape, which there was no scratches, no bruises, no ripped clothing. There was dust inside my truck. And if there was any signs of any struggle of any kind or anything, there would have been fingerprint marks on the dash and everywhere else, and there was none. And because none of that happened, it was just, like I said, stacking charges. But what happened was during the trial, or after the trial, and this is the thing, when a juror is selected as part of the jury, every juror is asked, do you know the defendant? Have you seen the defendant? And all of them said no. Never seen me, didn't know nothing about me. So at the end of the trial, the juror sends a note out to the judge saying, I swear I've seen this defendant here on a prior occasion at June or July of '87, working at a hot dog stand or talking to a waitress or something. What that did was that brought credibility to the person testifying against me, which said that I said I knew her husband and her husband's name, when in fact that was impossible because I had never been there. So at that time when that happened, and I to this day, I would swear that they put that juror in there to say that. I would say that juror was planted. And what happened next was my attorney didn't even stand up and move for a mistrial. And what that juror did is he brought evidence into court, namely his own testimony, and that was crucial for my conviction. And so the judge brought the panel in and instructed them that I had never been there before, or he instructed the prosecution, and asked the jury if they had any problem with this or that, and they all said no, which in fact is BS because the jury's already contaminated. So I guess that's what they call abolishing. So the judge abolished it. I don't know what I'm still, even at 62, I'm positive that, not only did I want to say something about Jeff Dunham and on a stick, jalapeno on a stick, but yeah, I got the stick without the, anyway, let's not go there. Unfortunately, I guess it went to the first appellate court and it was denied. And at 24 years old, while I was in prison, I didn't know better. And I thought to myself, well, I'll just tell everybody I'm in here for manslaughter, even though everybody that had charges, sex offenses, or whatever, everybody, even, there was no segregation back then. Everybody did their time together. But, and pretty much all the whites were the people that, the white people were the ones that did the paperwork, knew what people were in prison for, and yada yada. And if there was an R by your charge, then that was the signature for you were in there for a sex crime. But anyways, long and short, I told everybody I was in there for manslaughter. And I held to that for 4 years while I was in Soledad State Penitentiary. And, I hope that what I'm saying here is helpful to someone out there. That if you catch yourself in a situation, for one, don't pick up hitchhikers. For two, though, don't believe in a public defender. That guy was, when he filed his points in authority, when he filed points in authorities, he admitted and he put in there, like, number one, the defendant was denied the effective assistance of counsel, which I was. The other one was inefficient evidence to sustain the verdict. There was, definitely insufficient evidence. The juror brought evidence into court, namely his own testimony. That was another one. So I had like 5 or 6 good grounds for a new trial, but it's just pathetic. So while I was in prison, I thought, well, you know what? I'll appeal it when I get out. And that was a mistake, because little did I know that there was a statute of limitations that says you have X amount of time to appeal to the second appellate court or third appellate court or whatever. And I didn't know better. 24, an environment I didn't like, but I programmed myself, went to college, got a degree out of it, worked out every day. First 4 years, Soledad, worked out 3 on, 1 off. Kept my nose to the grind, kept myself, did my own time, my own number, minded my own business. And that being said, in 1989, I began writing a girl overseas. Her name was Jeanette. And I fell in love with her. And while I was still in prison, in 1991, we got married in Soledad Penitentiary. And I hesitate there because it was a hard time for her. Customs told her she was coming over here, she's marrying a bad guy, but she knew better. She knew that this was not the person that she'd been writing. And when we ended up in the visiting room to get married, the pastor didn't show up. We had to hire a pastor who came in and got us married. I was fortunate. I had good family to help her and help her get an apartment, and she got a job, and she worked and waited for me. And in 1994, after getting out of prison, I think after Soledad, I went to Tehachapi State Prison, and then I went to Norco for the remaining time. I think something like that. But she ended up getting pregnant. This is just, there's so much to tell you, and you're going to have to wait, I think, because there's a lot to tell. I had another video. I took it down because I just didn't like the way it came out, and that was stating that even after I got out, the paperwork that was printing out was incorrect. And for 20 years, I had something following over my head that it was ridiculous. It was something we're going to talk about in the next video. I want to thank you guys for listening, and I'm sorry that it's taken me quite a bit of time to get this other video out, but and we'll go over some of this other stuff again. But in the meantime, please hit that like button and subscribe button. And I'm tired. I've been working all day, but it sure is beautiful here, huh? Let me turn the camera around for a minute.